everybody, and welcome to another game here in the 2021 ABL season. I'm Sean Neep alongside Reese Landon. We're back here at Hermon Brothers for another contest between the Anchorage Bucs and the Matsu Miners. And it's been a bit of opposite directions for both of these teams recently. The Miners, winners of the last of their 8 of their last 10, and the Bucs on the other end losing 6 of their last 10. So these teams are skidding and rising at opposite times.
Yeah, the Miners going with Wyatt Tucker to the mound today. Tucker's last start didn't go as well as he's been going this year. He went 4 innings and he gave up 4 runs, and he really got behind the 8 ball as the third batter of the game, Jake Skipworth, hit a 3-run home run. The Miners never recovered. They ended up losing that game 5-2. So Tucker will look for some more success on today on the mound at Hermon Brothers Field.
And that's not something we see very often either from the Bucs. The least amount of home runs in the ABL up to this point in the season. So not a team that generates a whole lot of long balls, but one that does like the double more than anything else. When it comes to extra base hits and hitting doubles, they're pretty dangerous. So they put runners in scoring position often.
Yeah, they have the second most doubles in the ABL, and guys like Diego Baquero, Jake Skipworth, Garrett Ostrander, Jack Mactoff too, contributing to that. But one guy they don't have today, as we said yesterday on the broadcast, Ernie Yake is preparing to get drafted over the next few days. The MLB draft actually just started about an hour ago, and it goes on for the next couple days. So he went home to be with his family, and he's presumed to be gone for the rest of the year. So the Bucs do not have him.
Yeah, and the draft started off in a way I don't think any of us were expecting either, with catcher Henry Davis going off first. So a big play there, but for the Miners, they have some of their own contributors right now. Casey Rother, a name we've talked about a lot in the beginning of the season, somebody who's kind of fallen off in the middle, but he's been picking it up a lot recently for the squad.
Yeah, Casey Rother recently has been on a big-time hot streak. He has hit safely in his last 4 games, and he's 7 for his last 19 at the plate. Yesterday, had an RBI double and also scored on a balk on a really heads-up play coming down the third base line. So, yeah, he's been really hot. And another guy, Tyler Wilson, has been scorching over the past week or so. We've been waiting on his batting average to go up. The balls have been flying all over. He's been just kind of unlucky, to say the least. But he's 8 of his last 19 at the plate. With those 8 hits, he has a home run and a double, so he's been effective, to say the least, recently.
Yeah, you love having bats picking up, especially when you are losing some names to injury. We've seen a few players going down recently. Another name that seems to be popping up in the positive direction is Ricky Nunez, somebody who's been wanting to get back into this rotation for a while, hasn't really found a spot, but now they're finding a spot for him out there in the field. And he's really warming up his bat. He's getting contact, and somebody who's a real collective hitter is how I like to think of him. When he gets hitting, he gets them all in bunches. And right now, he seems to really be putting them together at the plate.
Yeah, Ricky last night had a 1-for-1 day with a couple of walks. He didn't get out in the 7-inning game, and he's been waiting for some time to get in the lineup and get some playing time, but played really well yesterday. He's in the lineup today, batting 7th, so Miners sending him out there, kind of a vote of confidence. And like you said, with the injuries, we've kind of drawn thin. EJ Cumbo is actually going to be out the rest of the year with an injury, so now we're down to another outfielder. Right now on the roster, we only currently have 12 position players, so Nunez getting the chance to start in kind of a depth crunch, so we'll see if we can take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's definitely getting similar to the situation we had at the beginning of the year with the amount of available utility players we have, but tonight we're going to see if the Miners can continue their winning ways and add some more insurance wins to the column, as they do stand atop the ABL by only 3.5 games right now. The Chinooks actually won, so they're 14-11. It's going to be a close race down through July, but we're going to have the contest for you back here in just a couple minutes. We'll be back with your batting rotations and your field lineup, so be sure to stay with us just here for just a minute.
Lehigh University, number 28, Jared Sweeney.
Hello, Miner fans, and welcome back to another edition of your Matsu Miner broadcast. I'm Sean Deep, alongside Reese Lannon. We're back here at Hermon Brothers as we get ready for another contest between the Anchorage Bucs and the Matsu Miners. Miners had the contest against this team yesterday as a part of their doubleheader, so only lasted 7 innings, but did come away with a tight win. And today they're hoping to recreate that as the series stands at 2-2 between these two squads.
Yeah, the Miners coming in today, obviously off the win yesterday against the Bucs. They evened up that season series with the 3-2 win yesterday. Tyler Rando had an RBI single. Casey Rother hit an RBI double for the Miners. Helped out getting that win. Alex Majors picked up the save, although it was not without maybe some flair for the dramatic. But Miners won yesterday, and they'll send out this lineup today.
We'll actually get that lineup to you after the national anthem. That's going to be sung by a very special member of our Miners organization today. So thank you very much, and we'll be right back with your lineup after a short break. We are back here at Hermon Brothers, and we want to thank Wolfgang, our PA announcer, actually, for singing the national anthem for us today. Didn't have somebody to really do it, so he gave us his beautiful pipes. Usually gives us just his voice.
Yeah, Wolfgang over the PA is always usually pretty good, but that was actually a really good national anthem, as first pitch tonight is thrown out by Joel.
Joel's just Joel. There's no further description we have on him, so that's what we're going with. And Miners, for what they're going with, they have Wyatt Tucker on the bump. It's been a bit of back and forth for Tucker. Last time he came out, pitched 4 innings against the Bucs, gave up 6 hits. And the time before that went 5 innings and only 1 hit allowed. So he's pretty on or off, really depending on his confidence.
Yeah, well, Tucker is start before, obviously, the one against the Bucs was against the Pilots on June 26th. Went 5 innings, just 1 hit, like you said. 4 walks, struck out 7, so he was really good in that role. But for the Miners, they really could use a strong start out of him today. The defensive alignment behind Tucker. In left field, it's Mike Ferrero. Over in center, Tyler Wilson. In right, it's Ricky Nunez. Infield, left to right, Casey Rother. Manning third base, David Bermudez. As always, at shortstop. At second base, it's Jared Sweeney getting the start today after a productive day yesterday. And then over at first, it's Nick Sorelli. Pitcher-catcher battery, Tucker. And then Tyler Rando, the Gonzaga catcher, behind the plate.
Going back to your point, they would love to keep Tucker in this game for as long as they can, because the last 2 days, they've rarely had to use their bullpen, only going to Majors for that save in the game against the Bucs yesterday. But that was the only real time they delved into their bullpen arms. On the other side, coming up to the plate first is going to be the Anchorage Bucs. So they're going to have 1, 2, 3 led off by Cole Carrick, Jack Mactoff, and Jake Skipworth. The 3 of them who have some of their best batting averages as well, so they seem to have a pretty consistent plan when it comes to their leadoff men, when it comes to just purely getting on base, that's some real money ball strategy.
Yeah, Cole Carrick, Jack MacDoff, Jake Skipworth was also 1-2-3 yesterday, so pretty consistent on that front. As Carrick, the right-handed batter from Louisiana Lafayette, or actually San Diego State, correction, will come to the plate first.
Beyond that, it's going to be Diego Becerro in the 4-hole, Matt Erickson in the 5-hole, Cole Moore the 6th, who gave up his first hit of the year yesterday on the minors. Woody Haydean in the 7. Carson Rocafort is returning to the lineup again for the 8-hole, and Xavier Pinales in the 9-hole. So leading us off, like you said, Cole Carrick, and going to lead us off with a pretty slow start, taking the ball there.
Carrick, as of late, is 7 of his last 26. That includes a home run and 4 RBIs. Pretty overcast day today here at Hermon Brothers, but warmer than yesterday.
Yeah, it's nice. It's mid-60s for the most part, so this is some real shorts and short-sleeve weather since we've been up here compared to the rainy, gross days we've had in the past. It's perfect baseball weather, and really just a day to be outside.
Towards the end of this week, it's supposed to get really warm. I believe on Friday it's going to be 78 degrees.
This one cracked back the other way, so starting us off with a hit, immediately getting on the bag is Cole Carrick.
Yeah, Carrick, good piece of hitting there. Puts his head down, slams into it. Carrick's a really solid hitter for these guys and continues his hitting there.
So wasting no time here. Bat Boy has to get his job done early, collect that. Next coming up to the plate is Jack MacDoff, their leader in batting average, coming up to this game.
And he's been streaking lately. 8 of his last 22 at the plate, which includes 4 walks as well. That's an on base of 481 over his last 7 games played.
So now Tucker still looking for his first out, but going to be looking for his first strike as well. That one going away.
Counts 1-0 on Jack MacDoff, the left fielder, batting from the left side, middle infield, playing for the double play.
Here's the pitch, and he's going on the run, so not going to have the chance for the steal with that one being fouled off. 1-1 count now.
1-1, Tucker trying to battle back and win this fight. Jake Skipworth, who hit the home run last time off Tucker, that was on the 3rd of July, is standing in the on-deck circle.
Still waiting on the pitch, see if he's still interested in going. As that one was really close, but not going to get a favorable count that time.
2-1 now. Yeah, that was a breaking ball. Late backdoor pitch, but evidently not enough drop on that to be called a strike.
Jack MacDoff, their left fielder, is still looking at a pretty favorable hitter's count. But we're going to need to just dial it back here first. The young arm, Tucker's not quite ready. He seems like he's ready, trying to find his own groove, which can be so important for young arms, but gets a big swing there, so helping him out is Jack MacDoff.
2-2. Miners outfield playing pretty much straight up on MacDoff. We saw them do some shifting yesterday, and talking to manager Tyler LeBrun, he said they want to do more shifting as the games roll on.
Going for a pickoff here. This one gets away from Sorelli. He's able to scramble over there in time before Carrick even decided to get up and go for second again. Going to remain at first for now.
Yeah, lucky that ball didn't roll far away. We've seen balls roll away from first baseman here at Hermon Brothers Field, and guys get all the way up to third. A lot of foul ground here, and the ball will roll if it gets away, but that time just died in the grass.
So far, an eventful beginning to this game as he goes for second again, still fouled off. So MacDoff, every single time Carrick has gone for the steal, decides that it's not going to happen, even though the odds are he's probably going to be safe on both of those attempts. He got a pretty good jump on those pitches.
MacDoff slashing 297, 373, 378 on the year. That's good for an OPS, a tick over 750 at 751.
But he takes this one looking and put away on strikes. Beautiful breaking ball that time by Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker, when he can command that breaking ball, can be really effective because his fastball is as good as it gets on this Miners roster. When he can locate that breaking ball, it gives hitters a really tough time.
I find it really interesting that while Willie Johnston likes to do a lot of front door attacks, his fellow Aggie teammate prefers to go out and away from a lot of batters, as we just saw him put him away with a backdoor curveball.
Skipworth, who, like we said, hit that 3-run home run last time.
And now he caught him in a pickle. He's stuck in no man's land, just trying to wear him down as he gets the tag there. So heads up play from Tyler Rando behind the dish, and there's 2 away now. The leadoff runner put away on caught stealing.
Yeah, quite honestly, I have no idea what Cole Carrick was doing there. Like, legitimately, he came all the way off the bag to maybe go steal a base, but he stopped about a third of the way and was kind of just stuck there. Sorelli got the throw, and that was an easy chase down.
I think it kind of threw him off, all those Mactoff foul tips when he went for an actual steal. So he was kind of second-guessing his timing there, led to an easy out for the Miners. Beautiful strike there, that same backdoor breaking action, and Tucker is looking good out there right now as he's staring at an 0-2 with 2 away.
Skipworth on the year has a 343 on base, so he's prone to getting on base quite a bit.
This one swung on. Bermudez takes the line drive and puts him away. Unconventional way of reaching a 1-2-3 inning, but regardless, 3 are away for the Bucs. Miners managed to keep them off the board with only 1 hit in the top of the first. So what do you think you saw from Wyatt Tucker right there in that beginning frame? Looked pretty controlled out
Tucker
there.
looked good. As long as he can locate that breaking ball, as I said earlier, he's going to be really good. And he located that breaking ball well, was able to spin it up there. And although that ball was a couple hard hit balls in the inning, I mean, you got to think if he keeps that control up all day long, it's going to be a long day for the Bucs offense.
Bucs do look like they're ready to put the ball in play. We're going to see what the Miners can respond with in the bottom of the first. When we come back after a short break, be sure to stay with us here at Hermon Brothers Field. Miners stepping up to the dish, and it's going to be Zach Eaton on the mound for the Bucs. One that the Miners haven't gotten as comfortable with. Heaton also has only gotten 1 start to this point, so interested to see what he's able to do today.
Heaton, a right-hander from Dallas Baptist University.
And this is immediately sent right back towards him. Heaton luckily knocked it down, but Tyler Wilson, the hot bat, nearly snuck right by him. Just able to bounce it off his body.
Yeah, that ball was just unlucky for Wilson. He continues to sting almost every ball he sees out of the box right now, but that one just right back at him.
We do want to thank our Day at the Park sponsors, the Meridian Pork Oral Surgery and Henry Sheen Inc. Corporation. It's a pretty long sponsor, but we are entirely grateful for everything they do for the Miners and for letting everyone else enjoy their day at the park.
Now it's Nick Sorelli who leads the league in walks. Nick Sorelli, 19 walks on the year. That's 3 better than the next closest.
Sorelli Of course, flattered when we mentioned that to him earlier, but wanted us to focus more on that home run stat, too.
Yeah, he's tied for first with 4 home runs.
And how about this one as it's going back, and it is gone. So right as we say it, Nick Sorelli delivers a bomb gift to the crowd.
Yes, Sorelli's going to be happy with that one after I kind of tipped it a little bit. Nick Sorelli, his 5th home run of the year. He now leads the ABL in home runs. So this guy right here is killing baseballs.
He's standing atop the ABL now and gets some celebration from your squad, Nick Sorelli. Boom! The big celebration with the dugout.
Sorelli is such a nice guy, too. He's really an easy guy to root for in the lineup.
He absolutely is. Didn't get nearly as much playing time as we were thinking he might have at St. John's, but seeing what he's been able to do for the Miners this year, it'd be shocking if he isn't increased at least time in the field for St. John going forward. Now, coming up to the dish is going to be the one Miner that managed to save them from being no-hit yesterday in the first part of their doubleheader, Casey Rother. The Lehigh Slugger staring at a 1-1. And sends this one the opposite way, too. It's really carrying it right, but is it going to get down? Not this time.
Ran down.
Ranging grab from Carrick.
Nice play by Carrick. The range, yeah, like you were saying, the ball's really carrying out to right center field. Sorelli was a no-doubter. Even without the win, that ball was getting over. But that one by Rother really did carry out there.
One thing you mentioned to me a while ago that I've noticed more and more with hitters, you can tell almost if it's gone purely from their stance. You could tell Sorelli pimped that one a little bit.
Yeah.
But now the
That
Miners
was no doubter.
holding on to an early lead here. We're going to see what Aaron Walters can do at the dish next, as we have 2 away here, but the Miners did strike early.
Strike 1 to Walters.
And Walters getting some solid contact, too. He's still only a foul ball. We want to have a special thanks for our grill master today, Robert Cardon, serving up those Miner Bucs and burgers. I don't know if you've ever had a Miner burger, folks, but if you haven't, you definitely should stop by and try it because your sodium levels will spike, but your stomach will thank you. And Walters puts this one on the ground. It's going to be a pretty easy 4-3 ground out to end the inning. And Miners managed to strike with a solo shot from Sorelli, but that's all they're going to get here through 1.
Yeah, Sorelli got into that one, and you got to think that bat right now is surging. Being able to walk as much as he does with power is just crazy. And right now, when you're looking at the top hitters in the ABL, I mean, Nick Sorelli has got to be at the top.
Absolutely. He's someone that can get on by pretty much whatever means necessary, if that's a single or a walk. He's just reliable when it comes to being at the plate. And we're going to see what his team can do in response to the early lead he's given them. So be sure to stay tuned here as we get ready to kick off into the second inning with some more ABL action. Be sure to stay with us. Diego Baquero, the first one to come to the dish for the Bucs as we get ready to start off the second. So their cleanup hitter going to be coming in to lead off the heart of their lineup, and we're going to see what he can do here. They seem to be very aggressive, but hard to get aggressive with a pitch that close.
Yeah, way inside there. And like you were saying before a break, if you haven't had a Miner burger, you should definitely indulge. I ate one before almost every single Miner home game, so take it from me. I'm a self-proclaimed food critic.
He's a foodie. He's the guy for Miner Burgers.
I eat considerably more food than Sean, so take my advice on that.
Considerably.
Maybe not considerably, but I do eat more.
I'll take your word for it. So 1-0 count for Diego Baquero, their third baseman, looking to give him some kind of response, but some real tough painting job right now from Wyatt Tucker as he seems to be going all around the batter rather than the box itself.
2-0 on Baquero, who's really turned it on. He had a really slow start to the year, but lately has got that average up to 277. He's slashing 277, 323, 426. He has the highest slugging on this Bucs roster.
And for a team that leads the league in doubles, like we said earlier, it happens a lot because of guys like Baquero, somebody who has power, but he's just a pure athlete. He can move when he gets on the bases.
Yeah, he can really move. He's a solid player, sturdy, plays third and first, so the Loyola Marymount product can really do it all for these Bucs.
So now we're going to see what Tucker can do in a 2-0 count as he's been stuck around the batter trying to locate the strike zone. He does just that, but just able to fend it off and send it to the back screen.
2-1 on Baquero as looming on deck for the Anchorage Bucs sits Matt Erickson, the catcher whose first time against the Miners this year had 2 hits and an RBI.
And this one sent opposite way to left field. Aaron Walters just has to jog under it in his tracks, and that one's away for the first out.
Yeah, that ball was hit really hard off the bat. Walters with a good read, able to come in and scoot under it to make the play. So Erickson, like I said, who had those 2 hits in the RBI last time, the first time rather, these two teams squared up way back on June 5th.
These two teams have had quite the matchups every time they've met up. And they're looking to continue and add another chapter to that. Matt Erickson, the next one to the dish for the Bucs. As that beautiful breaking ball, thought it was a little low, but got Brad behind the home plate tonight. Actually had him up here in the box talking with us before the game. So he seems to have a pretty low strike zone right now for Tucker, but not a wide one.
As it's 1-1 now. On the batter at the plate, Matt Erickson.
Tucker in an even count. And gets him to swing away there.
Erickson is actually a Hawaii native. Kailua, Hawaii? I know I'm butchering that. If anybody listening is from Kailua, I am very sorry because I definitely butchered that. But he is from Hawaii.
We'll stick with that one because it made me laugh.
I think it's Kailua, right?
It might be.
I mean, I seriously don't know what else it could be. We'll stick with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Kailua.
It's a 2-2 count. Back to baseball. And that one, give it to him again. So take him looking for his second strikeout of the game. He is just painting away on those corners with the curveball.
Like I said, the command of that breaking ball really tells the tale of Wyatt Tucker, and right now he's got command of that breaking ball.
He looks like he has brought his best stuff today. Already has 2 away in the inning. Could be another 1-2-3 inning for Wyatt Tucker, as they had a no-hitter with Willie Johnston through 5.1 last time, so they've been getting some really productive innings from their starters recently, especially against this Bucs team. Gets a strike to start him out here.
Moore, left-handed batter. Also a Dallas Baptist guy, so you got the pitcher-catcher battery for the Bucs today, both from Dallas Baptist.
Moore not going to offer it a low ball there. He's able to see the overhand action. We do see some more crowd filling into Hermon Brothers, so nowhere near at the full capacity for this fan base yet. And we seem to have a few newbies here as well. So always good to see the crowd coming out and supporting the Miners, especially when they're performing at some of their best recently.
So there's ball 2. Yeah, big crowd on hand today at Hermon Brothers. This is definitely one of the larger crowds we've seen all year. And the Miners, who sit at 18-8, the magic number is 11 with 14 games to play.
Taking it one game at a time now. Next pitch from Tucker is a big swing away. So Cole Moore now back in a 2-2 count. And a chance for Wyatt Tucker to work his way through a second inning clean.
More even count. I would expect Tucker to go to the breaking ball here. He's been good this year with the breaking ball late in counts.
Cole Moore with another offer here. This one sent right down the line. Sorelli able to knock it down with his body and just use his glove to flip it over to Tucker. Nice instincts there from Sorelli. Maybe a little bit closer than the fans were hoping, but it still got the out in another 1-2-3 fashion.
Yeah, glove flip. Sorelli able to knock that ball down and add a little effect with the glove flip. Moore wasn't really running very hard up the line, so he probably would have had him anyway. He threw it over there, but nonetheless, they do get the out.
So Sorelli adds to the lead himself and defends it with some nice blocking action there. Miners looking pretty strong through the first inning. We're going to see what their offense can do, and if they can wake up the bats besides just the solo shot they've had so far. So we'll be right back with some more action here as we kick off the bottom of the second. Be sure to stay around. Tyler Rando comes up to the plate next, and the Gonzaga Bulldog is ready to get his first hacks here. Got intentionally walked in their last game before they were able to walk it off with the Sweeney hit. So now that he's here early in this game, he's hoping to leave his imprint.
Yes, Randall was walked. It was second and third with one out. Randall was intentionally walked against the Peninsula Oilers in game one of that doubleheader. But in game two, he came through in the first inning with an RBI single against the Anchorage Bucs in that 3-2 win.
Mm-hmm. Which, that intentional walk was arguably a really smart play as well.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out
I
for
mean,
the Oilers.
looking at the numbers, Rando has been a better hitter than Sweeney, so it did make sense to intentionally walk him there, but obviously it didn't work out.
Right now, Rando worked his way into a favorable count, so 2-1 right now. As he sends this one up, down towards the first baseline, towards his own bullpen, but not going to land anywhere catchable.
So 2-2 on Tyler Rando, who obviously had that hit last night. He's been a mainstay near the middle of the lineup this year for the Miners in a number of different spots throughout the year, and lately, his last 5 games, he's 4 of 15 at the plate, so trying to still get it together with the bat. 228 overall.
This one put right into the center field as it just dribbles right to Herrig in center.
So Rando, hard hit ball, ups that average a little bit, starting to really come around, and now the guy who the Miners really need to come around, and he has started to turn a corner. Jared Sweeney, walk-off hit yesterday, had a hit in game 2. He played good defense yesterday, so if he can get going, that's just another option the Miners can use in their lineup.
I think there's a lot of positivity going on around the Miners for their bat rack. Everybody seems to be a lot more enthusiastic right now and getting better swings at the plate.
So he takes ball one there, Sweeney switch hitter, and you can use a switch hitting bat in a lineup. Really, whether it's stacked or not, you can use it anywhere in that lineup. He's in the 6 hole today.
Standing in the left-handed batter's box to start us off here. Rando checked on first. So Heaton right now is trying to manage what's already an early deficit. And Sweeney, the Lehigh product, who was one of only 2 hits against the Oilers in their game yesterday for game 1 of that doubleheader, is showing off some pretty good plate vision right now.
Yeah, 2-0 in the count on Sweeney. It's in a favorable count. Bucs infielder Pinales and Woody Hayden are definitely playing for the double play up the middle.
So with the 2-0 count, Sweeney is going to swing, but only sends it to the screen. We are here at Hermon Brothers, so we want to remind you guys, no smoking or vapor cigarettes, tobacco in the ballpark. It's a smoke tobacco-free space, and the Alaska Fair property means no going under or around the fence. That would be trespassing. Just buy a ticket or take one of the free ones we give away at plenty of our events. And always remember to recycle while you're here at the park to keep it clean. Sweeney sends this one back into left field. It's not going to get down, but Jack Mactoff instead puts it away. Rando going to have to retreat back to the first bag.
Yeah, the ball is really carrying everywhere. That ball, when it first got in the air, it looked like it might have been a blooper, but that carried out fairly deep into left center, so ball really does have some carry under it today. Ricky Nunez, who's the man of the hour at the plate, both him and Sweeney really coming along. Nunez yesterday was not made out in the game in game number 2 against the Anchorage Bucs, 1 for 1 with a couple of walks.
He's arguably been one of the best bats for the Miners. Him and Tyler Wilson have turned a new page in their season, as he's already 2 for 4 with 2 walks in the last week. He's had an OBP of nearly 2/3 of his attempts. So Ricky Nunez is adding those wheels to the bags pretty often right now for the Miners.
There's ball 2 to him. Nunez showing good vision at the plate. The right-handed bat from Mount San Jacinto College will transfer to Cal Poly next fall, and he'll suit up for Cal Poly's baseball team, which plays at the Division II level in California next spring.
Checked on again at first is Rando, as he's able to keep his balance there. Right now in the on-deck circle, we have the Kent State product, Sam Thompson. He's DHing today, and with only 1 away, unless a double play ball goes into the field, we're likely to see him at the dish. First off, Ricky Nunez is really putting himself ahead. 3-0, a real chance to advance Rando to the second bag.
Yeah, 3-0. The Miners obviously are an aggressive hitting team behind hitting coach Bubba Walters, but even on 3-0, I wouldn't expect a swing.
They are an aggressive team, but what's weird that you had pointed out earlier, they don't steal nearly as often as some other teams. Obviously, the Pilots really like to push the envelope when it comes to that, but the Miners, outside of maybe 1 or 2 players, haven't been that aggressive outside of certain situations.
Yeah, they don't like to run into outs.
And this one put on a line drive into a double play, so a great grab by Jake Skipworth, and just left Tyler Rando out to dry in between the 2 bags.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate double play, to say the least. Rando leading off. I mean, there's no way he could have judged that ball would have been caught. Almost got by him. Instead, that's going to go down as an unassisted double play.
I think if you were to look at the odds of that ball dropping and becoming a hit when it came off the bat, they were pretty good, but just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Tyler Rando can't be blamed there, and now the Miners still hold on to a 1-run lead through 2. We're going to have to see what the offense can hold on to later on. Wyatt Tucker heading back out for his 3rd inning of work. We'll be right back with some more ABL action. Be sure to stay tuned.
Woody Hadeen.
Woody Hadeen coming up to the dish right now for the Bucs. Right now, they've only had one hit that they've been able to add on to their total today. Wyatt Tucker has looked really good right now, and this young arm, the more confident he gets, the more likely he is going to go deep in this game.
As Hadeen takes strike one. Hadeen, who plays his college baseball over at University of California, Irvine. First name is actually Ryan, so Woody is just a nickname.
Maybe he just really liked Toy Story when he was younger.
I don't blame him. That's a good film.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good film. I don't blame him at all.
I think the third
that's
one's
the
the
reason.
best, but, you know, that's up for debate.
That's debatable, but, you know, I respect it.
Thank you.
Personally, I'd go with number one. I'm not, like, a huge sequel person, but three was okay.
It's hard to beat the classics.
Yeah.
Right now, Woody hoping to stay alive at the plate as he's facing a fanning opportunity, now 2-2.
Hadeen, who was in the game as the shortstop yesterday for the Anchorage Bucs, went 0 for 2. Had a sacrifice to his name.
Right now, Hadeen, the shortstop, looking to hold on and avoid becoming the first out here, but sends this one directly to center field. Might be an easy out, and that's exactly what it is. So one away now. Tyler Wilson in center field barely had to break a sweat there.
Yeah, can of corn as he was able to catch that. Hadeen, if you look into his advanced numbers, his runs created stat is a bit underwhelming. He's at just 5.57, and the runs created stat, just for people, a lot of our viewers probably don't know the meaning of it. Runs created is basically the value of a player in terms of hitting extra base hits, scoring runs, and just overall, it's kind of like an offensive WAR stat a little bit, maybe to a lesser degree, but he's been underwhelming in that category this year.
Now at the dish for the Bucs, it's going to be Carson Rocafort as he backed himself off the dish for a strike that looked about as clean as any we've seen today.
Rocafort was not in the lineup yesterday. We've seen him every other time in just those other 3 games this year, but yesterday he was not in the lineup. Today, back in, batting 8th.
Had a pretty underwhelming year so far. An OPS of about 550, so it does have some slugging ability, but a 211 batting average means a lot of hit and miss opportunities for Rocafort as he takes a big hack there at a low breaking ball.
Put the sword in the back pocket. And another thing, like I was saying on the runs created, Woody Hadeen actually has less runs created than Carson Rocafort. So that just shows, like, Rocafort can still have some value despite that low batting average.
As he does put this one at least deep the other way, but it's going to be opposite direction foul.
Rocafort, another Louisiana Lafayette guy on this team. He's from Port Neches, Texas. 6'1", 195 pounds. Left-handed batter, left-handed thrower.
Right now he's staring at a 2-2, and this one sent to right field now. So Ricky Nunez looking up, and this one sending it back the other way, off the wall, throws in Bermudez with a nice jumping grab, but it is going to be good enough for an extra base. Rocafort gets his second hit of the game for the Bucs, and that one's going to be for a 2-bagger.
Yeah, second hit of the game for the Bucs on the day. They're first for extra bases, so they get Wyatt Tucker with 1 out here in the third for extra bases. And like we've been saying, that ball really carrying out to right field. Off the bat, it looked like it might be over Nunez's head, but probably not off the wall. Instead, it carried about halfway up the wall, so it was no cheapie.
Yeah, that hit right in the middle of that Go Miners sign. Bit ironic considering the outcome, but regardless, Miners still looking to hold on to their 1-run lead as they have a man on and only 1 away.
Xavier Pinales next to the plate.
Pinales takes a big swing there. Trying to use his at-bat to at least advance the runner.
Pinales is struggling on the year at the plate, to say the least, hitting just 114. Second baseman obviously has a ton of speed, but hasn't been able to put his legs on the bases very much this year so far.
that one's taken low. We have the wheelbarrow of booze raffle tickets, and the 2019 championship quilt tickets are available in the beer shack. I know a few players are also bringing in their own school shirts, so they can create a quilt for this year's squad, likely to be auctioned off as well. So keep your eyes on that for any announcements we might have regarding that.
Count sits at 2-1 on Xavier Pinales from Olney Community College, who will be transferring to Gonzaga University next year. So he'll be teammates with Daniel Naughton and Tyler Rando.
Standing right next to one of his teammates right now. But Rando hoping that he's going to go down on strikes right now.
2-2, top of the order, Cole Carrick due up next. And Carrick, if you remember back to the first batter of this game, hit a line shot into right field, but a couple of batters later, he was caught in a pickle and tagged out by Nick Sorelli.
Pinales right now looking to advance Rocafort and tie up this game. Starts to go around. He's going to throw him out. He said that one went around, and that's going to be strike 3. So another strikeout for Wyatt Tucker.
Give him 3 on the day. Tucker able to get that half swing from Pinales. He'll go back to the bench, and now it's Cole Carrick.
Right now, he's keeping perfect pace with the Miners' 1 strikeout per inning that they've averaged across the whole season so far.
Carrick comes into this game with a .320 on base. He's been on base about at the league rate. Obviously, the Alaska Baseball League's stats, if you compare them to Major League Baseball or Minor League Baseball, are not as high offensively. It's better pitching numbers, lower hitting numbers. So .320 is about the par for the Alaska Baseball League and on base.
We'll see what the lefty can do here. Looking to advance Rocafort from second base. But not going to take it low there. We've seen a lot of strikes called low, possibly even below the black so far in this one, but good patience there from Carrick to lay off.
Carrick trying to find a way to bring home Carson Rocafort, who had that double with 1 out.
Takes a swing here. This one put on the ground could be an easy out, and it is. So the 1 out hit doesn't end up paying off as he's kept across the plate. Miners have made it 3 innings, keeping the Bucs out of the scoring column, and right now they're looking really defensively dominant.
Yeah, the Miners able to get through their 3rd inning unscathed. Wyatt Tucker's looked really good so far. 3 innings, no runs, and he's got 3 strikeouts on the day. So the Texas native trying to continue it later on in this ballgame.
Miners is going to be sending up 8, 9, and 1 to the plate to begin the bottom of the 3rd. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be back with Sam Thompson leading us off when we come back from a short break. Sam Thompson leading us off here in the bottom of the 3rd, and the mustache man, as he's got plenty of acclaim on our Twitter for right now, is going to be looking for his first hit in his first plate appearance of the day. Thompson attacking early too, but putting it right to the second baseman, barely able to collect it, and he does get it in time. So a nice clean recovery there from Pinales.
Your shortstop, number 3.
And in MLB news, a bit out of right field, but Will Bednar just went to the Mets with the 14th pick of the draft.
The Giants.
Or the Giants.
Giants. The Mets got Kumar Rock earlier. Will Bednar going to the Giants at 14. I was praying he would fall to 17 to my Reds, but a few picks short. Bednar won the final game of the College World Series as his Mississippi State Bulldogs defeated the Vanderbilt Commodores. Will Bednar is one heck of a pitcher, and the Giants are going to get a future rotation piece for years to come.
Oh, he's going to be pretty dang good. I don't know if anyone's seen that slider, but it is disgusting. That back foot slider can make anybody swing. But right now, David Bermuda is going to be the name at the dish for the Miners as he gets himself ahead now. 2-1. Worked himself back from a 1-strike count.
Couple of Miners expecting to hear their names called in this weekend / early week's draft as Bermuda's there is in a 2-2 count. Specifically Drew Swift, who some of you might have remembered playing shortstop here for the Miners in 2018. Swift has worked his way into potentially being a high round pick, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, not out of consideration for the Arizona State shortstop. Was big with the glove here with the Miners, but he's really picked it up at Arizona State with the bat.
So, home plate umpire having a short meeting with Heaton there after he spiked a ball that Bermudez couldn't help but swing at. And we're looking at a 2-2 now.
Sitting on deck is the leadoff hitter, Tyler Wilson.
So far, the only score we've had is that solo shot from Nick Sorelli. Miners looking to create some kind of other offense. But we're going to have to wait for the offer here.
2-2, here it comes.
Big swing, but can't make any contact there. And David Bermudez retired. That's going to be the first strikeout of the game for Heaton.
Yeah, first strikeout, Heaton able to get the punch out. The right-hander going with it looked like a slider to Bermudez. And now Tyler Wilson, who on the first pitch of this game lined it back up the middle, but the pitcher on the mound and Zach Heaton was able to knock it down and throw it to first in time. Wilson switch hitter. He'll bat from the left side.
Heaton was barely able to push that one down, so not going to see any ambush this time from Wilson, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him send something right back in the same direction. He really likes to shoot him up the gap.
So it's gone 1-1 on Tyler Wilson from Grand Canyon University. Plenty of Grand Canyon players on this team in the past, specifically a guy by the name of Quinn Cotton, who I'm sure plenty of you remember was the ABL MVP back in 2017, now is in high A with the Cincinnati Reds on the Dayton Dragons, an outfielder.
Wilson started to go around there, but decided against it. That breaking ball just barely cut the corner for 1-2.
That ball's up high.
He was smart there. He saw the catcher step over to the other batter's box, had a feeling it was going outside.
Wilson scored the second run of yesterday's game.
And get this one right over his head. Pinales had no shot. I don't think anybody had a shot jumping for that one, as it was bound to land and become a single for Tyler Wilson, so he keeps his inning alive.
Yeah, he's scorching hot at the plate right now. That'll give him 9 hits in his last 20 at-bats.
So next up to the dish is got to be the most dangerous man with the bat in his hands.
Nick Sorelli, who homered, and in the tweet sent from the ABL Miners Twitter account, by the way, follow that account at ABL Miners on Twitter for scoring updates. That tweet said Sorelli almost hit that ball to Washington State, which is located obviously south of here. That ball obviously didn't reach Washington State, but off the bat looked like it at least had a chance.
So this one pitched around, maybe even a pitch out to prevent Wilson from trying to steal. But Sorelli likely just focused on getting on base right now. Now you made me curious about how far Washington is from where we're at right now.
It's got to be a couple thousand miles?
Probably like 3,000.
Yeah, would think so. As there's another ball to Sorelli, and just like last time, he's in a 2-0 count. Unloaded on that home run last time.
So, 3,000, just a little bit further.
How much is
Sorelli hit it?
Yeah.
3,300.
3,300. Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about what he hit it.
3-0 though to him now.
Wonder if they're even gonna try and pitch back to him here. Already 3-0 count. Likely to throw it right down the center of the plate, and you saw what he was able to do with that pitch earlier. They're just gonna pitch around him here and walk him to first.
That's walk number 20 on the year for Nick Sorelli as he continues his on-base stretch. That is now put his on-base percentage right around 500. Don't know the exact number as we play right here, as he's reached base already in the 2 times he's came up to the plate. Came in at 473, so it's got to be right around 500 now.
So Casey Rother comes to the box next with 2 on and 2 away. I want to thank Mugshot Saloon, Palmer Bar, and Panhandle Bar and Tudor Bingo, your official sponsors of Matsu Miners pull tabs and gaming license usage, and the Nuggets Booster Club, as he takes ball 1 there. So Casey Rother, someone who's also been heating up, like we had said, 7 for 19 in his last few appearances, make it 7 for 20 with the first one, but someone who's plenty dangerous on his own, and he puts this one in play, bounces on the ground, but it does seem like it got a bit of his shin or foot. Gonna be
no, they're gonna call him out. First base umpire called him out. Now the home plate umpire is gonna call a conference, and we're gonna see if this will be ruled out. Rother didn't even try to run down to first, which gives you the indication that it did hit him.
Doesn't seem like any of the Bucs are wasting any time going to their dugout, so they seem pretty convinced that the inning is over. It seems like the only one that doubted it was Rother, as he never even broke for first base. And the Miners are still taking their time, leaving the diamond right now.
Yeah, the only ones not off the field are Jack Mactoff and the center fielder Cole Carrig, as Bucs dugout is just really watching and waiting. Rother never even ran out of the box, so you got to think that the ball had to have hit him in some capacity.
If one person were to know that they were hit or that there was some kind of contact, it'd be Rother, but they decide in their conference that that's the end of it, so no real debate from the Miners' side. 3 innings have come and gone, only 1 run to show for it from both sides, and we're going to be right back after a short break with some more action. The 4th inning picks up. Be sure to stay tuned here at Hermon Brothers for some more Miners baseball. Miners back in the field, and Tucker back on the mound as we get ready to start the 4th inning of action here. Tucker only went 4 innings the last time he faced off against the Bucs, so anytime they have a chance to expand him past that, they're going to want to take it. And he's looked good here so far. This one put back on the ground, another easy ground out situation, and they've taken advantage of those. No wasted opportunities for the first out.
Yeah, it's been very good. There's been a numerous amount of balls that have been hit on the first pitch for outs, so that's an easy way to keep down the pitch count if you're Wyatt Tucker, as that's a ground out 4-3, 1 away. It's Jake Skipworth next.
Skipworth coming up to the dish, and on deck is Diego Vaquero, as these Bucs really can't seem to put a string of hits together. So far, only able to get 2 and one single, one double isolated by themselves. Great pitch there as he continues to attack the back door. Tucker still looking to keep his K for 9 at 9 even, 1 in each inning so far. Beautiful bending action, but can't quite keep that high enough, so still 1-1 now.
Skipworth, his first time up, he hit a screaming liner, but the shortstop Bermuda is able to make the jumping grab to end the inning.
Tucker with another pitch here, and this one just barely chipped off. Maybe it caught his foot. That can't feel good, but he's going to try and walk it off and come back into the batter's box. PSA from Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver Alaska. The Alaska Railroad would like to remind our friends and neighbors, wherever you see railroad tracks, always expect to train. To stay safe around trains and tracks, look, listen, and live. And be sure to always stay safe out there. This one hits off on the ground, so it's going to clean up some dirt and become ball 2. Fellow Aggie shagging for him right now as Willie Johnson's out grabbing all those loose balls for Wyatt Tucker. This one turned the other direction. Rando trying to locate it. Is Sorelli as well in foul ground, and Rando gets it. So nice job to follow it over his shoulder and grab that one for out number 2.
Yeah, easy as it gets. Tyler Rando mask off, able to make that catch, and all of a sudden, Wyatt Tucker is 1 out away from 4 perfect innings.
Diego Baquero's the only one that stands between him and that goal. Right now, Baquero looking for his first hit.
Baquero flew out to left, and the hit to left was actually hit pretty hard. It was hit right on the screws, but coming in a bit to make the catch was Aaron Walters as he got a good jump on it.
Not going to offer it the pitch on his hands, but that one is going to be taken for strike number 1. Been interesting asking a few of the guys over the last day or so for walk-up song suggestions, and Wyatt Tucker's own suggestion, Temperature from Sean Paul, so that's a little bit of flavor to his walk-up song. But this one sent deep to center field. Wilson backed up near the track and puts that one away a few feet in front of the track, so an easy inning for Wyatt Tucker. These Miners defense looks about as solid as they can be, as nothing is really pushing through right now.
Yeah, went right through 2, 3, 4 in the order. That ball was actually hit really hard off the bat of Vaquero, but tons of room in center field here at Hermon Brothers Field, and easy track down for Tyler Wilson.
Only real takeaway so far right now is Casey Rother and home plate umpires talking with skipper Tyler Brunn, maybe still going over what he had decided from that previous inning just to know going forward. But Miners coming back up to the dish are going to have to be ready for some more action as Heaton returns for his 4th inning of work. We'll be right back with that after a short break here at Hermon Brothers, so be sure to stick around. Bottom of the 4th here, and we're taking a trip to Wally World to start this inning as Aaron Walters, the first one to the dish right now, and the left-handed batter looking to get it going. Got a solo shot back at Mulcahy, but right now he's looking for his first in Hermon Brothers as well.
And my Cincinnati Reds have made me mighty happy. They have selected Matt McClain, the UCLA shortstop, at pick number 17. So I'm cool with that.
Not upset, not too.
No, I wanted
Not
Ty Madden from the University of Texas, but you know what? McClain's fine too.
This one just tapped foul, so Walter is going to be back for a 2-1. Walter's a pretty even-tempered power batter right now as he puts this one on a low line drive, took a 2-bounce drop, and eventually thrown over. So nice throw from short as it's going to become a 6-3 ground out. Hey, Dean to Skipworth for that one.
Tyler Rando back to the dish, whose first trip up, he got a base hit back up the middle.
Seems like both sides really can't string together more than one hit at a time. These two forces, whenever they run into each other, it's either been an offensive explosion or just complete stagnation. So far, it's been another defensive battle. As Tyler Rando takes that one for ball one, so getting ahead early again. We do want to thank some of our sponsors. Sponsor of the 2021 Matsu Rhiners Baseball Pacific Northwest Regional Council of Carpenters and Carpenters Union Local number 1281, as that last one sent back to the back screen. We've seen some good carpenter work here around Hermon Brothers. These stands themselves are pretty much a nice work of art, as they have separate rows, they have plenty of extra seats. They make sure that they can pack in over 1,000 fans comfortably here. As that one is taken for a strike, so put that one in the perfect spot, inside corner, 2-2.
Jared Sweeney looming on deck.
Heaton gets that one. Man, Rando thought he was going the entire opposite way. Instead, he's just going to have to take a bit of a laugh.
As that was actually strike two. I think the board had it screwed up.
I think...
Yeah, we were going off the scoreboard.
The home plate umpire thought it as well and went for the motion, but we're not done here yet.
As now Rando takes his base, so they were a bit confused. There was a ball called that the board thought was a strike, so instead Tyler Rando's going to take a walk.
Gets on base for the second time. He and Sorelli are both perfect in their chances, and now it's going to be Jared Sweeney. That's Jared, not Gerard. Don't be confused by the spelling. Coming up to the dish. Switch hitter in the left-handed batter's box this time. Nice job to just kind of shuffle that one off.
Sweeney in a 1-0 count. Sweeney's obviously seen things pick up lately for him, and on the air, while that average still does sit below the Mendoza line, it's now a bit above 100.
That one, a hard slide, gets it to one. That one's going to get away from him. Sweeney isn't even aware of it.
And that throw got away, and now Sweeney's walking back to the dugout. I think they're going to call interference on Sweeney running down to first, so that's going to be a double play.
An interesting call, but one that will end the inning, so can't really change much about it now. Miners going to have to get ready to take the field themselves after a bit of confusion. They're getting geared up and heading back to the diamond, so we'll get you back to Hermon Brothers here after a short break and a little bit of clarification. So be sure to stay tuned. Matt Erickson next up to start off this inning, but right now I really want to draw attention to Wyatt Tucker, somebody who's quietly cruised through 4 innings, and we haven't really had much to talk about as hasn't struck out a ton so far, but just really managed his work well.
Yeah, Tucker back out for his 5th inning of work, and
this one's going to start off with a bang and one that'll get down, so Walter's able to get it on the one hop and keep him at first, but is going to get down, so making me eat my words immediately is Matt Erickson.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting. We've seen the Bucs hack on a lot of first pitches, and that's their first hit, I believe, on a first pitch swing, so he's able to get that one down for the 3rd hit of the game. But what I was going to look at on Tucker is on the year, his first pitch strike rate sits at 56.6% coming into the game today, which is high on the list of minors, but in general is about middle of the pack. Minors haven't been great at throwing first pitch strikes this year, but Tucker today has done a good job with throwing first pitch strikes, I would say.
I'd say that's a really good base to have for someone like Tucker. I think he's far from the top of his potential, but he's showing off he has a lot of good tools to start building on more and more. And he becomes refined, he's going to become really dangerous going forward.
Yeah, Tucker obviously just finished his freshman year at Texas A&M, so plenty of room to grow. And as a kid at an SEC school, the sky's the limit.
See what he's able to do here right now, having a pretty efficient day.
Count sits at 0-1 on Cole Moore.
Moore picks up his hands to sell the ball even more, so that one's 1-1. We also want to thank the sponsor of the 2021 Matsu Miners Summer Clinic coming up starting on July 13th. So the Alaska USA Federal Credit Union Summer Clinic, we're going to have multiple days of action, July 13th through the 16th, as this one's set into foul ground. Who's going to get it? And it's going to be Rother. So started to head back towards the fair play, actually. And Cole Moore is going to be retired on a foul out.
So first out of the inning now, Woody Hadeen, whose first trip up, he flew out right to Tyler Wilson, barely had to move in center field.
Hadeen really giving himself a spot to dig in near the back of the batter's box. No real surprise, he's trying to dig in on that back foot, try and drive something deep here. Wouldn't be surprised to get a big swing in the first 2. As that one's just nearly spiked off his foot. So that's going to be ball 1. No chance for a big hack when you can't even get it off your shoe.
Hadeen, and then Rocafort, and then Xavier Pinales. Rocafort had that double earlier. He stands on deck. 1 on, 1 out. Potential chance for a double play here.
This one's too far away, so regardless of the power stance, isn't deciding to offer right now. Showing some good patience. This Bucs team, one that has a lot of hit and run potential with the speed and slugging that they have, but right now just taking all the pitches.
3-0 now as Tucker has fallen way behind, and he has not walked anyone yet today, but he's in danger of giving up his first.
Hadeen's already had 8 walks on the year, so looking like it could be number 9, but not on this pitch, so knew it was coming near the heart of the plate, decided to force Tucker into a situation where he has to bury himself again. Isn't going to offer again, another strike, so full count. Wyatt Tucker has worked his way back with 2 good fastballs.
2 really good fastballs at that. That last one might have been the hardest one of the day. That had some extra oomph on it.
No, he's capable of touching low 90s, maybe even 94 at his best as he takes off. No real reason to offer the throw there as they both advance. That's a walk-on balls.
Hadeen walks. Rocafort to the plate next. Rocafort doubled his first time. And Right now, he's got probably the best chance all day for the Bucs to score runs. They got 2 on and 1 out here in the 5th.
And right now, it's going to be a big opportunity for the Bucs. Carson Rocafort, their right fielder, really hoping to make this a tired ball game. But that curveball was just beautiful. That was one of the best we've seen so far.
Strike 1 to Rocafort.
Tucker's got some really explosive stuff. See if he goes to a bit of a faster pitch here after that curveball. Continues with it though, stays on the breaking action and gets strike 2 called. Now a big payoff pitch with 1 away and 0-2 count.
0-2 as a couple of breaking balls, like you said, to Rocafort. I'd expect nothing but breaking balls here to the left-hander Rocafort.
And this one nearly gets away from Rando, so able to just keep it in front of him. Great job there by Rando. Michael McGreevy, the most recent pick from UC Santa Barbara to the Cardinals, so getting some company as division members pick back-to-back, Reds and Cardinals.
The Cardinals picked a lower value guy. Save money with later picks for anybody familiar with slot value. The guy they picked from University of California, Santa Barbara, as that pitch is inside. University of California, Santa Barbara for under slot. Save money for later picks. It's 2-2 on Carson Rocafort. Smelled Rocafort.
He's strong like a fort, so it's Rocafort, I guess. And he's put away quietly. So really getting the crowd going here and back on Tucker's side as it looks like he's recaptured the momentum with that punch out.
Out of Tucker's 4 strikeouts today, now 3 of them have been looking, and Rocafort, just the recent one, as now Xavier Pinales, who was the only swinging strikeout back in the 3rd, will come to the plate with 2 out in the 5th.
I think we've seen Tucker use that breaking pitch more and more in this game than we have in any of his starts so far.
Yeah, he's been good with it. Why not?
And this one's sent backwards, so Tucker had just over 17 innings under his belt coming into today. Looking to add his 5th inning of work here. Only allowed 6 runs in those 17 innings. So far, none allowed. But does have one in scoring position here. As this one starts to get away, but unable to recognize it. Tucker actually kind of blocked the field of view. So unable to see that ball get away from Rando even for a short bit.
Matt Erickson out at second. Yeah, he was blocked by Tucker, so he couldn't really tell. And it's not like Erickson's a real burner at second base either. Rando able to get to that one quickly, so the Miners escape a potential advance. 1-1.
Tucker hoping to work his way out of this jam. Not going to do it on that one. Xavier Pinales in what may be his biggest at-bat of the evening so far.
Tucker has been really good this year at batting average against. There's only a few pitchers on the Miners that qualify that's better than him in opposing batting average, and those pitchers are Aaron Winkler and Nate Beimel, 2 relievers, so Tucker has the best out of starting pitchers on the staff. 3-1 now, though.
And does have one more base to fill him up with, but not going to be the jam situation he wants to put himself in. Miners also don't have a whole lot of movement going on in the bullpen, so unless this situation worsens, it still seems to be Tucker's choice, as this one is put on the ground, is able to get through, and is likely to score a run. Sorelli unable to throw it home in time. Erickson's going to score from second, and we have a tie ball game.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. 3-1 pitch. Pinales going after it. And earlier I was talking about his lower hitting numbers on the air. You couldn't tell on that one. A screamer through the right side. Nunez playing pretty deep in right field. Could not come quickly enough on it. Sorelli smartly cut that throw off to advance or prevent an advance to second, but it's still 1st and 3rd as the Bucs tie up the ball game.
Just perfectly placed right between the two. Only Pinales' 3rd RBI of the season, but one that comes at a pretty appropriate time to tie this ball game up, and it's a tight one right now.
So 1st and 3rd.
This one is sent deep towards the bullpen, and that had a better shot of being caught by the guy stretching down there rather than Walters himself.
As the ball goes foul, it's 0-1. Tucker trying to work through some more damage and keep this game at just 1-1.
Cole Carrig already has a hit in today's game, so hoping to make it 2 right now in a huge scoring opportunity position. That one taken for a strike, though, so now in a defensive protective at bat. 0-2 with runners at the corners. And Tucker seems to really like back-to-back breaking balls. See if we'll go back to it here. Here's the pitch. This one is a fastball turned the other way. Going towards right field, Ricky Nunez is able to scatter over and put it away and end the inning. Miners do give up 1, so we have a tie ball game, and it seems like it's going to be a close one here at Hermon Brothers. We'll be back to see if the Miners are able to put up a quick response in the bottom of the 5th. Be sure to stay tuned here. Not seeing a whole lot of change in this one, as it's still Zach Heaton on the mound. Miners sticking with their batting rotation as well. Ricky Nunez going to be the first one to the dish in this inning.
The bottom of the order for the Miners, 7-8-9. Their first trip through the order, 7-8-9. Didn't produce anything of note. Nunez hit that hard line drive back in the 2nd inning with Randall off first, and it went straight into the glove of the first baseman Skipworth, and they were able to turn the unassisted double play. Jake Skipworth catching and then tagging the bag.
Ricky Nunez sends this one up for his own little satellite, but it's going to come back to earth pretty quickly in foul ground.
0-1 on Nunez, who's getting just his 30th at-bat of the year. Today, back-to-back starts for him. Watches the ball there, 1-1.
It's a bit too high for Ricky's standards, and Ricky looking to be a terror on the base path as he rips this one in between the two. No one's going to get there, as that's going to become a single for Ricky Nunez.
Nunez, all he's doing is hitting right now, and the more he just continues to do his thing at the plate, the more playing time he's going to get. It's going to be hard to take him out of the lineup with the way he's going right now.
Especially with the speed they have. If Morozic is going to be down with injury, at least recovering for a short bit, they need someone that can replace him on the base path.
Now it's Sam Thompson, who's scuffling a bit at the plate coming in. He's looking to have some success here.
And he squares up, puts this one down on his first attempt, and he's chugging. And gets out nearly pulls him off the bag at first, but he's able to put him away for the first out. Does advance Ricky Nunez the second, so wasted no time and a pretty perfect bunt. The only thing he could have done better is get on himself.
Yeah, Skipworth nearly was pulled off the bag on that throw, but how about Sam Thompson? That's his first sacrifice hit of the year, and I don't really think the Bucs were expecting that, so Thompson able to get that down. That's a good at-bat for Sam. Bermudez now, runner on second, one away. He's got an opportunity. Had a couple of hits yesterday against these same Bucs, 2 for 3 day.
Takes that one, but it is a strike. David Bermudez likely trying to work on his plate patience, something that he hasn't had too much of this year. He usually puts it in play or strikes out. Not a really big walker for the Miners. He puts this one opposite direction, nearly in between the two. Who's going to come under? It's going to be Carrig. And not going to advance the runner either, as he's close enough that he can throw it into the cutoff.
So Carrig able to collect that in center field to make the second out of the inning.
Miners looking to make it a quick response here, as they're going to be sending Tyler Wilson, one of their scorching hot bats, to the plate next.
Wilson singled his last time through to right center field. Got that ball elevated over Xavier Pinales.
If you're Ricky Nunez, you really can't be wasting any time second guessing if the ball's going to get down. 2 outs in the inning, you got to go on whatever is put the opposite way.
There's the ball. Nunez stole third base yesterday against these Bucs, and he's really leading off now. Kind of going back and forth, kind of playing in the mind of Zach Heeden.
See if he goes for it again here, as it is a 2-out situation, so chance to create. He's on the run. Is it going to get down? And it will. Ricky Nunez is running still. Are they going to get him at home? No, they won't. Cut off grab. And there's another RBI single for Tyler Wilson. He just keeps putting him in play.
How about that? Tyler Wilson knocking in Nunez off the bat. That ball looked like a can of corn to center field, but it kind of died. Wind's kind of been all over the place. Ball died a little bit in center field. Carrig came up with it, but by the time he got it, Nunez was halfway around third chugging, and the throw was way offline, cut off. So the Miners retake the lead here in the 5th.
Yeah, it didn't take much long, only half an inning. And they're right back on top. The Miners, they're known as the comeback kids, the cardiac kids even by their owner. But right now, they seem like they want to hold on to the lead as they add to it with a 1 run there. Nick Sorelli, the first baseman, back at the dish, and he's going to waste no time trying to attack early here into foul ground, but not going to offer. Diego Vaquero ranged over like he was willing to die for it, but when he saw the gravel, kind of changed his mind on laying out.
Another multi-hit game for Tyler Wilson. He's got that average up to 226 after being down in the 150s just a few games back.
Right now, he's smothering the Bucs. He's adding so much offensive pressure. So Nick Sorelli, 0-1. Back to showing off the patience. So already collected his 20th walk and his 5th home run. See what else he can add to his resume today. A half-hearted pickoff attempt, so not really going to have a chance there, as Tyler Wilson is not somebody you're going to get out slowly. Offers again. That one's closer, so is pushing the envelope against Tyler Wilson and looking to get out of this inning with maybe even a pickoff attempt.
Count's still 2-1 on Sorelli, who sits at the plate.
And Sorelli takes that one. Strike on the outside. Hits the outside corner just barely.
Strike 2 on Sorelli, and Sorelli's runs created coming in leads the Miners. He has the slight edge, 16.2 over the second place Casey Rother, who sits at 15.99. So Sorelli really producing, and as well in the isolated power category, where he leads the Miners with a 182 line.
Didn't look like an intentional pitch out there, but worked like one, as it was able to get him standing, and now we have a full count.
Runners are going to be moving, or runner, singular, Tyler Wilson is going to be moving here on a 3-2 pitch with 2 away.
And and he can move. Definitely among the fastest minors on this squad. Casey Rother standing in the on-deck circle should Sorelli get on safely, as we're staring at a full count. And that one swung on, couldn't help but go for the low breaking ball. Sorelli takes his first out of the day on a strikeout swinging, and the Miners did manage to retake their lead here.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of hitting by Tyler Wilson, able to give the Miners the lead. 2-1 lead. We'll see if it's still Wyatt Tucker. He hasn't gone 6 innings in a game yet this year, but he's got an opportunity now.
Real chance to do that when we come back. We'll see if he's back on the mound for the Miners. So be sure to stay tuned here. But looks like we also might have a change as Christian Seelhorst is started out to the mound. So stay tuned for more action here.
All right.
We're back here with more minor action, getting ready to start the top of the 6th, and let's rock baby on the mound himself. It's Christian Seelhorst, his first time as a bullpen arm for the Miners.
Seelhorst on. This is obviously, like you said, his first appearance out of the bullpen on the year. Seelhorst is used to being a starter, but manager Tyler LeBrun said he would be open to the idea of Seelhorst transitioning into the bullpen. On the year, he's been one of the most effective minors in terms of ERA. He still has a 1.26 ERA despite a ton of walks. Seelhorst on the year has walked 18 in 14.1 innings, but just that 1.26 ERA, he has been able to strike out 18 as well.
And I think that makes a lot of sense to move him into a bit of a swingman position. With that walk issue, he, like you said, keeps people off the bases and definitely from coming home. With rotation that's already struggled against Tucker so far today, they're likely to offer it a few more pitches, so Seelhorst may be able to get a few more outs that way.
Tucker went a full 5 innings, gave up just 1 run, struck out 4. He'd be in line for the win if the Miners can hold on to this lead, as it's 2-1 now. On the batter at the plate, Jack Macdoff.
Macdoff came in with a strong batting average, just a tick below 300, and right now he has not helped his case with 0 for 2 day so far.
Taking that one, though, and Macdoff way ahead, 3-1. It's 2-3-4, so Seelhorst is going to get the toughest part of the lineup, and maybe going into Tyler LeBrun's thinking is not wanting Tucker to see the middle of this lineup for the 3rd time.
Tough call there. Is going to get a ball, so that's going to be another walk, the 19th of the year for Christian Seelhorst, as he's hoping to even out his ratio. He has had an even 18-18 walks to strikeouts prior to that at bat. now going to look to make it even again.
Yeah, Seahorse missed just a tad bit up, and now the runner on first, Mactoff, represents the tying run as he sits over at first base. Seahorse on the year has, I should say, the lowest batting average against among qualifiers. He was actually better than Wyatt Tucker. He's at just .85. Obviously, the walks have bothered him, but he's been very good at limiting base hits.
I think Seahorse has some really explosive stuff.
Yeah,
he has some really good
hand.
stuff. It's just that he has had a hard time stringing together the strikeouts compared to the walks. If he could consistently make it a 2-to-1 ratio even, he would be a great starting lineup for this Miners team. But putting him in a swingman position could really help build up that confidence. Just seeing a few people swing.
Seahorse striking out over 11 on the year per 9 innings, 11.3.
And Rando able to keep that one in front of him. 2-1 count now. At the dish right now is someone I actually can barely see, but there we go. Jake Skipworth couldn't quite tell with the Bucs lettering that left side, but finally able to see Skipworth fouling off on that pitch. So 2-2.
Seahorse in a 2-strike count. He's got some nasty stuff with some breaking balls on 2 strikes, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something maybe in the dirt. But you also got to remember Jack Mactoff, who leads off first, has pretty good speed.
And is swung at and offered, can't get it, so a pretty good bait on that fishing trip, and Christian Seahorse sends him packing.
Yeah, Seahorse able to get the punch out there. That's a big one. First out, so a little boost of confidence is now Diego Baquero, who's flew out to left and flew out to center. Mactoff has good speed off of first, but he only has 1 steal on the year. The Bucs do like to run, mostly with the guys at the bottom of their order, Rocafort, and then guys like Ostrander, Haydeen, but those guys at the bottom of the order haven't been on base too much, so it's usually the guys at the top of the order not running as much.
Late swing there. Decided last minute he wanted to go for it, and that's going to be a swinging miss. So the cleanup hitter and Matt Erickson on deck, 4 and 5 hole, ahead of Christian Seahorse. Not going to get any easier after that strikeout. I can say what I like, but he's looking in control here. 0-2 count.
Way ahead, and Seahorse, I'd be very surprised if he threw anything near the strike zone here.
No reason to even offer anything hittable in a pitcher's count to the utmost variety. Seahorse 0-2. And that one is low. Throw. He's got to have him, right? He does. He's put away, caught stealing. And the Miners are really terrorizing anybody attempting to advance.
Yeah, Mactoff tried to go there, and he didn't get a very good jump. A very late jump off the bag, and able to be easily thrown out. Tyler Rando with a good throw down to second base. Bermudez with the tag, 2 away and 2 strikes on Diego Baquero.
So, starts to offer. First base judge says no, so not going to be bailed out there as he started to go around, and now he has a chance again to hit in a 2-2 count. Starts to swing again, and this time the appeal goes for the Miners, so gets him on that one. That's 2 strikeouts for Christian Seahorse, both swinging. He came in and he's looked solid so far.
Yeah, using that breaking ball in the dirt there. Baquero going after it on the 2-2. Seahorse, like you said, his second strikeout. That'll do wonders for his confidence. We'll see if he goes multiple innings, but before that, the Miners got to come hit here in the bottom of the 6th.
We'll be right back with that bottom of the 6th here at Hermon Brothers Field. Be sure to stay tuned as Zach Eaton, his day doesn't seem to be done, so he'll still be on the mound when we come back. When we come back, Casey Rother leading us off. Be sure to stay tuned for that.
Rother.
Casey Rother, the first one up to the bat for the Miners in this one, as they hold on to a slim lead, only 2-1. As we get ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning, Zach Heaton's still out on the mound. I really want to see him go deep in this one and see what he can do. He looks pretty much in control. I mean, the hits and runs he has allowed have been pretty slim to none. This one's put on the ground, though. It's going to be hard to collect it, and that one gets past, and can't say any interference on this one, as this one's over in foul ground, and Casey Rother pulls into second, so
It's an error on Vaquero.
turns nothing into something, and now he's in scoring position after that error.
Yeah, Vaquero has a really strong arm. He almost missed it initially on the backhand and was able to come up with it, fired a long throw. It was thrown very hard, but in the dirt.
So Aaron Walters, next one up with a bat, and he has a chance to make this a more out-of-control game for the Miners. They don't really want to have another tight contest. They've had plenty of those throughout the year. They'd love a win in dominating fashion.
Walters, runner on second, not out as he takes ball 1 there. Walters' previous 2 trips produced 2 groundouts. First one to the second baseman, Pinales. Second one to the shortstop, Haydee.
You can see by their defensive shift the way he's really putting it opposite field. Skipworth pretty close, even with the bag. As Walters is ahead, puts this one right near the line judge, and now Rother's going to be digging for home. Stops himself in time, though. Could have been close at the plate, but they're not going to challenge Erickson at the dish.
Yeah, base hit there for Aaron Walters. His first hit of the day. It's a big one, and now first and third, nobody out. And coming to the plate for the Miners is going to be Tyler Rando.
Rando, somebody who's had his own single perfect day. 1 hit, 1 walk, and right now he has runners at the corners and none away, so you couldn't ask for a better RBI situation for a hitter.
Zach Heaton's pitch count isn't much of a problem. He's sitting at just 71 or 72 pitches now on the day, but being beat up a little bit here in the 6th with nobody out, they're going to go to the pen.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue of durability. He's purely just being beaten up on by these Miners. After they've seen him a few times, they're starting to pick up his off-speed stuff well, and now they're going to turn to Spencer Bengard. So a Cal Baptist pitcher, next one up, had a 2.38 ERA last year at Cal Baptist, and we will be right back with you guys to talk about him just a bit more after he's had a few more warm-up pitches here. So be sure to stay tuned here on our stream, as we'll be right back in just a minute. So the catcher put in a big hitting spot here as Tyler Rando steps up to the dish with runners at the corners, and he has a chance to really bust this game open for the Miners.
Rando already has a base hit and a walk to his line.
Add another one as that one's down. Wasted no time attacking early and bringing a run across. This inning is still going without an out.
Yeah, base hit there. Rando going the opposite way. Moving up to second is the runner, Walters. It's an RBI single, 3-1 Miners.
Rando has really wasted no time attacking early in these at-bats.
It's his second RBI in as many days. Had the RBI single yesterday, and now Bengard first and second. Nobody out. Could see a bunt here from Jared Sweeney.
Instead, he goes for a big whiff on that one, so he does want to keep hitting. Hit into that double play last time, but it could be huge for your player right after a double play to get back into the rotation with an RBI.
Sweeney now squaring.
Should have stayed squared, though, as that one's called strike anyway. We have the official sponsor of Matsu Miner Travel, Alaska Airlines, as well as the sponsor for our internet broadcast, the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska. Jim Ruda, their owner, is also has a Miner jersey giveaway. As this one gets through as well, Miners keep on rolling. Casey Sherman's starting to roll his arms, but Aaron Walters smart enough to pull himself back to third. Bases loaded, still no outs.
Yeah, I think Walters stumbled a bit around third, and that's why he didn't end up going home. That ball wasn't hit all that hard and died in right field, but Walters, or I guess you could say conservatively, held up, and the Miners still have bases loaded, nobody out, a real chance to break it open.
So they're really waking up now. This squad is hitting the lights out. Bases loaded, Ricky Nunez, no one's away, and the chance is yours.
Spencer Bengard has been greeted with back-to-back singles. We'll see here.
Yeah, it's a pretty rude awakening from the bullpen. He's already played against the Miners this season, but had a 2-inning pitch, solely 2-hit performance last time they faced off. That was when the Bucs were winning at Mulcahy, and right now it looks like the story's a bit different. Miners looking in control here at home.
On the year, Bengard's been really good. 15 2/3 innings, just a 1.72 ERA, but right now he's getting beat around a little bit.
And Ricky Nunez is going to send this one up. How deep will it go? I'd be surprised to see the runner from third. And he'll stay put, so they do finally record the first out on a dying fly ball to shortstop, and there's still a chance for some serious damage to be done.
Sam Thompson to the plate now. He grounded out his first trip and then got a sacrifice bunt last time, which helped enable Tyler Wilson to have that RBI single, which scored Nunez. Thompson with the chance here. Corners in, middle infield playing for the double play.
All it takes is a deep shot for at least a sac fly. You put something in the green, we might see 2 score.
Thompson there watching the first pitch for a ball. He's at a 1-0 count.
This time it's taken for a strike, so able to get back in this one is Bengard.
Bengard's allowed a fair amount of hits on the year. He's giving up a 241 batting average against him, but what he's been good at is he's really limited walks. Just 4 of them in 15 2/3 innings.
As he reclaims the lead in this at-bat, 1-2 now. Thompson obviously not holding back on his swings. He wants to put something the opposite way and make it difficult for the defense to react. Better than that, he spits on that one, didn't even try and move at it.
2-2 now. Off of third is Walters. Rando at second. Over at first is Jared Sweeney.
See if the bottom of this lineup can do anything for the Miners. As Thompson swings at that one. That one's offered at and put away for the second out. Comes down to David Bermudez. We'll see if Bernie has anything in him to keep this inning alive.
Giant second out for Bengard as he gets that strikeout. Bermudez, who's 0 for 2, struck out swinging and flew out to center, is due up now for the Miners to the plate. Infield playing back now with 2 outs.
We've already seen one come across in this inning. We'll see if anything else pays off. As this one actually bounces off of his glove and still not picked up, so everyone's safe, and another run scores. David Bermudez manages to add an RBI.
Second error of the inning for Diego Baquero, as that ball looked like it was going to be an easy inning ender, but looked like it bounced up and hit off his wrist and went straight up in the air. By the time Haydeen grabbed it, everybody was scrambling to bags and there was no play.
If you're Diego Baquero, you have to be hoping this inning just ends soon. 2 errors in the same inning. Can't entirely say he's a bad player, but he's just having a bad stretch right now.
Tyler Wilson, who knocked in a run earlier, is to the plate now, bases loaded.
Lead stands at 4-1 and a chance to add even more. As this one is immediately gloved on the comeback shot, and the inning is over. Bengard able to get out of the jam without giving up too much. Miners do hold a 3-run lead, though, as we get ready to begin the 7th inning of action. So Miners holding on to a growing lead.
As now we're going to see a new pitcher trotting on for the 7th. So Seahorse just goes that 1 inning, strikes out 2, works a scoreless inning, and now Aaron Winkler, the right-hander from Rutgers, will be on.
So if it wasn't hard enough on your ERA, they're going to send out Winkler, as Willie Johnson's having some fun handing out some caps and gloves as well. He's doing a great job as the bat boy today for the Miners. We'll be right back with your 7th inning of action here at Hermon Brothers Field. Be sure to stay tuned to not miss out. Aaron Winkler coming up on the mound next, and the Big Ten thrower going to be looking to continue a pretty hefty lead here.
Yeah, Winkler on the air, it's interesting because he doesn't throw a lot of first pitch strikes at all. His first pitch strike rate on the air is less than 24%. So the fact that he has a .66 ERA is kind of mind-boggling, but all the credit to him, as he's been really good out of the pen this year. This will be his 7th appearance. He's thrown 13 2/3 innings on the air, allowed 6 hits, and struck out 9. A big thing for Winkler, he doesn't walk many, just 2 walks in 13 2/3. So he'll be tasked with getting the hold here, as the Bucs are down to their final 9 outs.
No, he's somebody that attacks the strike zone a lot, and I like pitchers like him. So they're never going to offer and put you away harder. They're never going to make their own situation worse. You have to beat them with good hitting. This one hit off to the back screen.
And just a reminder, folks, it's not on the schedule, but tomorrow, makeup game, 7 o'clock game time.
We do
right
have
here.
Another game tomorrow, as this long stretch
Rotary
is
Club.
getting closer to winding down.
Tuesday.
It's going to be another game against the Pilots here at Hermon Brothers tomorrow. Another Anchorage contest.
Swinging and missing there from the heels was Matt Erickson, unable to get a piece of that. He's down to the count 0-2.
We have our giveaway and miscellaneous announcements for today at the park. Obviously, we have prizes for most games. We have 2 program prizes today. $100 is up for grabs, and it could be yours. They have a lot of raffle tickets that they like to give away here, so if you like to add some variety and add some excitement to your ballpark, you come to Hermon Brothers, because you have a chance to win stuff too.
Yeah, there's more giveaways here than anything I've really ever seen at the summer collegiate level. Definitely the most in the ABL, so it's always a good trip down to the ballpark.
could always go home with more than you came with.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, the Miners fans hoping that the Matsu Miners take home their 19th W of the year. 9 outs away.
Wink does have a back-to-back ball pitches there, so back to a 2-2 count. Still looking for the first out here.
Winkler, previously of Richmond University, now goes to Rutgers as a grad transfer. He'll be a senior next year at Rutgers.
It's hard to be friends with Wink because we both go to rival Big Ten schools, but I think he is one of the most interesting people on the lineup.
He
when
has
it comes
his
to
own
speaking
app.
his thoughts.
He has his own app, if that
He
tells
does
you
have his own
anything
app.
about him.
It's actually getting to know your voters and who you're voting for in the New York metropolitan area. So
Yeah,
a very niche app idea, but still kind of cool that he has that.
Yeah, especially for a college kid producing that and playing college baseball on top of it. He really does it all.
This one sent the opposite way. Let's see what Walters gets to. As this one barely comes down in front of the wall with Wilson being the one to glove it.
Wilson cutting Walters off out there, deep left center. Ball hit hard and deep, but just way too high to get out of here. It's the first out of the inning. That was a really long at-bat. That at-bat lasted 8 pitches, but nonetheless, Matt Erickson is the first out of the 7th inning.
We've actually been cruising through this game at a pretty brisk pace. We're under 2 hours by about 5 minutes, and we're already 1 out away in the 7th.
Cole Moore, the next to the plate. In other action today, the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks lead the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 2-0.
As this one sent deep, and it is gone. Collect your high fives, collect your bags, as that one's not coming back. A home run and a solo shot. That one's not going to even be questioned. Cole Moore, his second hit of the ABL season, is a long one.
Yeah, that one went near Sorelli's distance. Going way out there to deep right field. Cole Moore, his first homer of the year, and the Bucs draw a little closer. It's 4-2.
It's not over just yet. Luckily, no one on the bags as Wink. That may be the first home run he's actually allowed on the season.
Yeah, I believe it is. That ball was hammered.
Winkler hasn't even allowed a double or a triple to this point, so the first extra base hit he allows, this time it's a home run. Luckily, it's the least damage that could be done with a long ball.
Yeah, just a solo home run, as now in the lineup, it's going to be Woody Haydeen.
Now an 0-2 count. Chance to punch out the next batter after allowing a deep shot. This could be really big for Winkler.
Haydeen flew out to center and walked.
Not going to be given the benefit of the doubt there, even though he's been attacking the zone, so he's going to have to do it again, 1-2. Pitchers like Winkler, they really like to just keep pounding the zone till the umpire really doesn't have a choice, but you're going to have to go with their side on 50-50s because of how often they're hitting the strike zone.
That ball missed in the dirt, and Winkler's in a 2-2 count now. Bottom of this lineup, Haydeen, Rocafort, Pinales, all have been on. Haydeen reached by a walk earlier. It was a double for Rocafort and a single by Pinales.
So working his way back slowly but steady, Haydeen now in a full count.
Fighting his way back from 0-2.
See if he has the patience to make it all the way as he swings on this one, but sends it foul.
So that ball hit the shed off the third base grandstand at the top there. Heard a big bang.
We've had to climb those a few times ourselves just to put up some cameras. But, you know, it's all for the good of the team. This one's just blooped into shallow right, and that's going to get down. No one even near it. Nobody was close to it. But right where the defenders weren't, some Pete Rose action.
As now, all of a sudden, it's Carson Rocafort to the plate, and he represents the tying run.
All it took was 2 hits. And you're right, they're right back in this game.
Rocafort Like I said, doubled earlier. That was back in the third. He struck out his last at-bat. That was in the fifth.
Now he's sending this one to the back screen, falling behind early, 0-1. It's crazy how it only took 2 batters for this game to turn from Miners' complete control to the tying run at the plate. As Winkler gonna give a slow pickoff attempt there. Not a whole lot of distance between the bag and Hayden. Miners still looking to get their second out in this inning.
It's 1-1 on Carson Rocafort. Off first base, Hayden. He can run a little bit. Hayden likes to run on the year for Woody Hayden. He has 8 steals, and he hasn't been caught.
This one put on the ground, but not going to stay fair for very long. So Winkler, who only allowed about a batting average of 130 against him prior to today, is going through some pretty extended at-bats. Not something you expect from a soft contact hitter like him.
1-2.
And he is on the move, so hit and run is going to be called off with that foul tip.
Now foul ball back over the screen. Hayden loves to run. Tried there. Gonna get sent back though. Miners defense hoping maybe a ground ball. Winkler doesn't get a lot of strikeouts on the year. He's more of a ground ball pitcher. Haven't seen a ground ball yet though. Winkler, right-hander, trying to work out of it. He's in a favorable count, 1-2.
On the move again. This time not going to go for it. Did pitch out and got him again. Miners defense is looking absolutely perfect tonight.
That is the first time Woody Hayden's been thrown out stealing this year. That was an absolute laser from Tyler Rando. Pitch was up and away, so he was able to get out of his crouch a little bit quicker, but an absolute bullet to get Hayden. And that's what you have to do to throw out Woody Hayden.
They saw him go on that last attempt when he was fouled off. Said, why not go for it again, as he was able to pop up Rando, save all that pop time. As this one sent down the line again. They did get that hit yesterday that just barely stayed on the foul line from Cole Moore.
You gotta wonder what this game could be. The Bucs, I mean, they've ran themselves into at least 3 outs on the day.
Part of that is just pure good timing, though. Like that last out with Woody Hayden, I don't think they would have gotten it should he have not thrown him out of his stance, like you said. So Miners making the right decisions, at least making the right adjustments. So tying run stands now on the on-deck circle instead of at the plate.
3-2 as Winkler is throwing a boatload of pitches here. It's now 3-0 Chinooks, for anybody wondering. 3-0 Chinooks as they play in the 8th inning.
This one put on the ground, unassisted, third out again. Nick Sorelli just vacuums that one up and puts it away. Miners, their defense has been absolutely dependable.
Yeah,
the best word
Tyler Rando specifically. He's thrown out 2 would-be base stealers and then got helped to get the Miners, get Cole Carrig into the pickle earlier that got him out on the bases, but Miners up 4-2, trying to preserve this lead as we head to stretch time at Hermon Brothers.
Yeah, and Tyler Rando, see if he can keep his defensive prowess going in this one. Be sure to stay tuned for the bottom of the 7th after a bit of stretching.
Sorelli.
We're back here with some more minor action as Nick Sorelli steps up to the plate. We want to take a quick time to thank our 7th inning stretch sponsor, the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Stop speeding before it stops you. As Sorelli starts with a take ball here. Miners really looking to add some more insurance here as their defense has been reliable, but they want to add as much protection as possible, and Sorelli flying out to Carrick is not the start they wanted.
1 out in the inning. Now it's Casey Rother who is in danger of losing his 4-game hitting streak. Last time up, he got on via an error, moved up to second on a throwing error by Vaquero, came around to score.
How many times have we said this season that he's going to lose his hitting streak only for him to get it the next time?
He's got a chance to right now.
Starts with a gauge pitch, though, so he's not going to take the one right down the middle. That was right on Main Street, honestly.
1-1 on Rother.
Starts to go around, not going to this time, so ball 1. Really surprised I didn't see him offer at that first one. That was about a belt-high pitch for a power hitter. You like to drive those the opposite way. Tries to do it with this one, but it's only a foul ball, 1-2.
Pops that one back out of play. Down but not out, Casey Rother. He's a defensive hitter, doesn't strike out very much on the year. He's been very good at limiting those strikeouts.
Rother takes that strikeout looking, so didn't have to swing here. There's quick 2. Vanguard making easy work of the heart of this lineup.
Aaron Walters is his next test. Walters last time up, he singled. Walters got on via the single back up the middle. Made it first and third with Rother on third. So Walters second straight inning getting a chance to hit.
Surprising to see the quick of a turnaround in only a single inning after really looking dominant against Vanguard last inning. This Hart lineup is not putting up much of a fight here in the 7th. As he takes a 1-1 count now, able to work his way back here.
Vanguard, you're saying working very well here as we play in the 8th.
As this one's sent flared up, is he gonna get it? He is. He lays out for it. Colt Carrick, a pretty nonchalant dive, and he's able to end the inning in style.
So Carrick able to make that catch. Miners go down quietly here in the 7th.
Hey, folks,
No response from the Miners for the 1 run put up here in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back with your 8th inning of action here from Hermon Brothers Field to see if this one's going to get a little bit tighter or if it's going to be more of the same here in the final 2 innings.
Number 10.
Everybody, welcome back for your 8th inning of action, and get ready to howl because we got a Wolf on the mound. Evan Wolf from Kent State in Gahanna, Ohio is going to be taking over on the bump as it seems to be 1 inning of work to go around for the Miners. Steelhorse had 1, only 1 for Winkler. We're going to see what Wolf can do.
Wolf on for another appearance. He's had a ton of appearances on the year for the Miners. This being on the year for him his 13th appearance. He's been all over the stat sheet. He leads the Miners in appearances, actually. Obviously, this is his 13th game. He's pitched 13 and a third innings, allowed 13 hits, 6 runs, only 4 of which were earned. He's walked 3, so he's been able to keep down the walk numbers, and he struck out 11. He's got a 2.70 ERA.
So Wolf, or Wheezy as the crowd calls him. It's honestly a way better name. It's way more fun to say. He's going to be giving his first pitch here, and this one's wasted no time returning this one to sender. David Bermudez moves it into deep ground as he puts that one away.
Easy first out, easy as can be for Wolf. He gets that one done. The Kent State right-hander, 1 pitch, 1 out to Xavier Pinales. And now it's going to be Cole Carrick, who's 1 for 3 on the day, but probably most memorably was thrown out in that pickle earlier as he steps to the plate now, the San Diego State Aztec.
I'm interested to see if Wolf is checking his phone in between innings to see how his brother's doing during the draft process.
It's got to be a good time for the Wolf family right now as Evan's on the mound, and they've got their other son, West Virginia right-hander, about to be drafted in the MLB draft. As it's 1-0 on Cole Carrick, and there's a fastball for strike 1.
It's his first strike called here now.
Be Carrick and then Mactoff in the on-deck circle.
This one once again sent into deep left ground, starting to run forward now as it must have died on him as Aaron Walters.
Make the catch, 2 away, puts it in his back pocket, and how about this? Evan Wolf has recorded 2 outs on just 4 pitches, and now the Bucs are down to their last 4 outs. Jack Mactoff in with 2 away here in the 8th.
Pretty efficient work. Maybe he really wants to go text his brother. See if he's able to get another one in under 2 or 3 pitches so he can go check on Jackson Wolf. But right now, Evan Wolf pushing his own stuff across the dish.
Ball 1 there, Wolf on the air. Like we said, he really limits walks, and that'll be a pitcher's best friend, especially at the collegiate level, limiting walks and errors.
This one sent right back to David Bermudez again. This one bounces off of him. It's going to be a bit of an awkward grab as it took a weird bounce off of his wrist and glove.
Yeah, that ball was smoked on a hop. It's going to go down as an error. It was a really tough play by Bermudez as he tried to field that in the short hop, was unable to get it. So Mactoff reaches, and the tying run now, Jake Skipworth coming to the plate.
Well, had a chance to make it a quick 1-2-3, but it's a tough technical sport to say all around. You can do everything right and still have it go awkwardly bounce off you like that, as Bermudez is one of the most sound mechanical players they have on the defensive side.
The Chinooks now lead 4-0 over the Pilots. Colby Ferris with an RBI single, Joe Brazil RBI double in Anchorage, as the Chinooks have really surprised a lot of people. With the win today, they'd be 15-11.
And that cements them right at second in the ABL as this one gets through as well. This 2-out threat seems to be growing as the Bucs refuse to be put away.
Yeah, single there for Jake Skipworth, his first hit of the day, and now another guy who is hitless on the day, Diego Vaquero. He's got the tying run at second, or rather the tying run at first, and he represents the go-ahead run at the plate.
See if he's able to change his fortunes as he put some pretty good barrel on ball. He's able to at least put it into the outfield, but he's just had no luck finding any clean, empty, unoccupied grass. Miners looking to end the inning that they thought would have been pretty easy to get out of.
2-1, 2-out, Vaquero, who's 3 at-bats today, like I said, haven't yielded any hits. He flew out to left, flew out to center, and struck out swinging. His last strikeout swinging ended the 6th inning. Christian Seahorse punched him out.
Wolf hoping to end it the same way.
There's ball 1. Wolf on the air, surrendering a .245 batting average against. He has not thrown any wild pitches, a rarity on the staff. A 1.23 whip as he gets a strike there, 1-1.
Seems like they really want to take advantage of this 2-out threat as well. You have a pinch runner on first, Garrett Ostrander. They're trying to really avoid getting into some awkward situations.
Yeah, it makes sense to put Ostrander on over there, who can really fly off first base.
Called strike there, so Wolf makes it a favorable count. Chance to work his way out of a bit of a sticky situation.
Count sits at 1-2.
Vaquero hoping to avoid the 0 for 4 day at the dish. He seems like he's trying to stay calm out there, but obviously going to be tough to avoid offering at that. Similar pitch goes right through once again, and he's held off at third. Actually, smart plan, as he likely would have been cut off by the arm of Aaron Walters.
Another single, Vaquero and Skipworth back-to-back singles, and the bases are going to be loaded, as now throwing in the minor pen is Evan Floyd. Bases loaded. Ostrander represents the tying run at second base.
I thought we were going to get through this inning pretty quick, but it's turned on its head real fast.
The error kick-started it on a tough play by David Bermudez, then back-to-back hits to left field.
So we are going to have a bit of a quick meeting on the infield. What do you think they're going to be talking about for this moment right here? Bases loaded, obviously a big chance late in the ballgame.
Well, they're probably not going to go to Floyd, who just started throwing as Bubba Walters out of the dugout, but got to kind of calm him down. And to be fair, the Bucs, those were two really well hit balls by two of their best hitters, Skipworth and Vaquero. Now he's got Matt Erickson, who singled earlier. He's also struck out and flown out to center field. Erickson is an easier out than those two. Erickson on the year for these guys is hitting .239. He has no homers and just one RBI, and that one RBI came in the first game of the year against the Miners. He hasn't had any success in his last run of games. 71 at-bats on the year. Doesn't have a lot of extra base potential, so I think what you're telling Evan Wolf here is trust your stuff and hope you can work out of this jam.
I totally agree with you. I think he should really work the bottom of the zone too. It's a lot easier to create those ground balls. When you have bases loaded situations like this, allowing them to attack something up high could result in a deep shot that scores more than one. So work your way down low and try and create something to get yourself out of this jam.
This is a huge batter.
This one sent the opposite way. How deep is it going to go? Tyler Wilson's really having to run around out there. He finally tracks it down, though.
Oh, my goodness. That ball was taking kind of a 360 spin on it. He started out in left center, had to run all the way back over towards the right field side of the outfield, but nonetheless, it's one pitch, one out. Evan Wolf escapes the jam.
There's not a whole lot of things scarier than seeing your center fielder having to scramble out there to get the ball, but is able to track it down. And lucky for Wolf, no runs come across. The bases loaded situation results in nothing. Miners going to be heading up to the dish with the bottom of the 8th rolling up. We'll be right back here after a short break, so be sure to stay tuned here. Rando coming up to the plate to start off the bottom of the 8th, and it's become a pretty tight contest. Miners obviously leading, but they've had a few close situations that they've worked themselves out of. Makes any chance where they have an opportunity to add to their lead seem just as meaningful.
Another inning for Spencer Bengard. This is his 3rd inning of work. He hasn't given up any earned runs, at least to his name so far. The runs were tagged to the starter of this game, Zach Heaton.
Bengard maintaining that low ERA. And now he's working against Rando in a bit of a delayed, slowed down windup. That can really throw off a hitter.
Bengard now sits at a 1-2 count.
So Rando, see if he's able to adapt as he goes all the way through his rotation this time, and it bounces right to Kevin Nakamura, who's already taking pitches from Evan Floyd.
Evan Floyd should be the man on for the 9th, and if he does come on, it would be a safe situation if it stays within 3 runs.
Rando testing his eye again, as this one just nearly takes the chip off his shoulder. Tyler Rando, way to stay firm in the box. Bengard really kind of messing with him in whatever way he can. It's not often that you see a lot of pitchers have such different mechanics from pitch to pitch. This one turned the other way, and it's going to get down. So that one will be down for another single. And Tyler Rando is having an incredible baseball game.
Yeah, his 3rd single of the day, along with a walk. He has not been put out yet in 4 plate appearances. And now Jared Sweeney, who singled his last time through, to the plate.
It's hard to ask for much more than perfect from Rando. The catcher having himself a pretty good day with the bat.
1 out, none out. Sweeney batting once again from the left side. 1 for 3 day for him.
Rando shuffles over there. I'd be interested to see if they would do a hit and run with Rando.
Probably not, but honestly, I would not be surprised.
He seems pretty amped out there.
I would not be surprised if maybe Sweeney could try a surprise bunt, but now at 2-0 in the count, probably not.
No reason to waste a favorable count like that. On deck circle houses Ricky Nunez. Behind him is Sam Thompson, actually, the DH for today. Miners looking to hold on here as this game really seemed to slow down once we hit the 7th inning. Both offenses really waking up as Sweeney gets into this one. Is going to be a can of corn, not even a hint of struggle from Carrick in center field.
Yeah, he commands that one down, 1 away, and now it's going to be Ricky Nunez, who's in a 1-4-3 day. He scored the go-ahead run, though, back in the 6th inning. Or the 5th inning, rather.
Nunez, that 1 for 3 doesn't really reflect. He's been seeing the ball really well. And Reese is now really happy.
Let's go. Ty Madden is a red. And our first compensation
For
pick.
now, at least.
The Trevor Bauer signing with the Dodgers gave the Reds a compensation pick, which they spent on Ty Madden. Oh, wait, maybe not. Maybe it's just a troll account.
Well, you got excited for a second. It was good to see.
Yeah.
I was happy to see you smile. But it's alright. We're still in this game.
Upset. We better take Ty Madden.
I don't think they are now.
Yeah, they probably won't.
Miners staring at 1 away, 0-2 count for Ricky Nunez. He is just staying alive with the foul ball right now. Can't do it for much longer there. Able to get a breaking ball for the strikeout. And Ricky Nunez is retired for the 2nd out here.
Bengard gets the 2nd out. Now it's Sam Thompson, the designated hitter.
Bengard's had some pretty explosive stuff since he stepped in. Obviously, they roughed him up a little bit when he came directly out of the bullpen, but he's locked into this game now.
Thompson on the day. He is grounded to 2nd. He had a sacrifice bunt, which helped score Nunez, and then struck out in the 6th.
It's a slice there, but can't make contact.
Swings and misses. He's behind in the count.
Thompson hoping to buck his own backwards trend right now. Would love to knock off the Schneid with a hit, as we've had to face a bit of up and down with Thompson throughout the season.
1-1 now to Sam. Floyd continues to throw in the bullpen, and you got to think he'll be on in the ninth.
I will say, though, when Thompson's seeing the ball very well, he's arguably one of the best line drive hitters on the squad. He chops this one away, and it just becomes a flying saucer pretty much out the back of the park.
1-2 on Thompson. Due up, if you're wondering, for the Bucs in the ninth inning. It's going to be Cole Moore, Hayden, Rocafort, 6, 7, 8 in the order.
That's a big swing and a miss. 2 back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. Spencer Bengard is looking locked in on the mound right now.
Yeah, he's able to breeze through after Tyler Rando reached. So the Miners go on to the ninth. They're looking to move to 19-8 on the year and increase their lead in the standings. But we'll see. Evan Floyd on for the save.
With Bengard pitching the way he is, they're going to need their defense strong. So this next half inning could decide it all. Be sure to stay tuned. You don't want to miss out seeing the end of this one. So be sure to stay right here. We're in the ninth inning of action now, and this is going to be the last chance for the Anchorage Bucs. If they want to hold on here and hold on to what's currently a tied season series at 2 apiece.
Wolf is the 5th pitcher of the game for the Miners, and he comes into this game off a rough outing. His last time out, he faced the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. That was a couple days ago on Friday, and he got beat around a little bit. He'll look to kind of redeem himself here, and this is a good spot for him to gain some confidence back. 2-run lead and a potential save on the horizon.
He's another pitcher that's really similar to Winkler, too, and he attacks the strike zone. He's not going to give you a lot of walks. If you want to get on, you're going to have to earn it against Floyd. Starts it off with a low strike there, too.
Good pitch there from Floyd to get ahead as he faces the man at the plate in the form of Cole Moore, who destroyed a home run to right field his last time up.
And he made it interesting with that deep shot, but hasn't had any offense since then.
Floyd comes in with a 4.26 ERA. He's allowing a 269 batting average against him. The whip is at 1.42 for Evan Floyd.
a bit of a Air Force baby as well, so he's moved around quite a lot. Obviously born here initially and can count as one of the locals, but he's seen a lot and moved around a lot. But one thing that's been really consistent for him is baseball, obviously. He's always played wherever he's gone.
Played at Air Force, St. Louis, played at West Florida as well, and at a JUCO stop on that road as well, as he gets a strike there, and it's 2-2 on Cole Moore.
Able to even it up and try for the first out here, put the pressure on the batter. Cole Moore, obviously, prior to today and prior to playing the minors, was hitless on the ABL season. They've given him his only 2 he's had so far with a single and the home run. Dugout obviously upset with that one. They want him to take the back foot slider, but Cole Moore, a bit bigger than that.
Just a little low, barely missed.
You love to hear the dugout get into it, though. From
Floyd
the
has a couple of saves on the year. Also, 1 win and 1 loss.
This one turned the other way. Is it going to be another deep shot? No, it's going to be a running grab from Ricky Nunez as it's just in front of foul ground. What a great grab, honestly. Just track that one down.
Yeah, Nunez able to run that ball down in the right field corner. That was a big first out. Miners get their first turtle done, and now coming to the plate is going to be the shortstop Woody Hadeen, who tried to run on Tyler Rando after a single back in the 7th, and that didn't end well. He got thrown out stealing.
Also been on in form of a walk, so he's able to get it done in more ways than one. Tough call that time. Goes this time for the batter.
Ball 1.
Another low one, so Floyd starting to pitch around him. We curious when he came up here, we thought he might have even been a starting pitcher with how much he was pitching for his college, but obviously kind of wore out his arm the deeper he went into the season.
Now it's 3-0. Also, the Reds did not take Ty Madden, so now my hopes are pretty much crushed. We did take a high school outfielder, though.
You doomed yourself.
Yeah.
Getting your hopes up there. Floyd able to at least keep this one close. Gets a strike there. Makes it 3-1, and he's going to need another one of those if he wants to stick around. And he gets another one. This time it's swinging. So
3-2.
Can't catch up. Payoff pitch in what could be a pretty pivotal spot. Still 2 away. This one hits off the back screen.
Screamer over there.
Yeah, created some sound from the crowd. I don't think anybody was expecting that one to shoot back as fast as it did.
The winning pitcher in this ball game would be Wyatt Tucker if Floyd can get these last 2 outs. As there's a ball just off the edge. Oh boy, he just missed it. Hadeen jogs down to first. Tying run to the plate, Rocafort.
Rocafort could also end the game as Alex Majors is taking off his warm-up jacket, so we saw him in the matchup yesterday against the Bucs, and a 3-0 game became a 3-2 barely saved. So we're going to see if he'll come back for more action today. Rocafort taking a strike there, able to turn the tables from his previous at-bat.
2 on deck is Xavier Pinales, who knocked in a run back in the 5th inning. That was the first run of the game for the Bucs as they tied it. Not
going to swing at that one. Good job taking off the low ball. And it's official, the sidearm, Alex Majors, warming up in the bullpen. So he could be turned to for a final out, as this one's sent to center field, and Tyler Wilson's going to have an easy job putting this one away. They might not need Majors. 2 outs now. Xavier Pinales, the bottom of the order, 1 for 3 day. Pinales came in scuffling mightily at the plate, but it just takes 1 for him here. He doesn't have a lot of power, so probably not a home run here. But Miners just trying to get this last out.
Evan Floyd would get the save. The win would go to Tucker. The loss would go to Zach Heaton.
And if you're Pinales right here, you can't be trying to play the hero yourself. You just got to make solid contact and keep passing it along. That's what he tries to do. This one able to grab and put away himself is Sorelli, as the Miners able to get this one. A save for Floyd, a win for Tucker, and a good day in the Valley.
Yeah, 4-2 winners. Like I said, Tucker gets the win. Heaton lost. Save goes to Floyd. Floyd nails down his third of the year. And that's a big win for the Miners, as the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks also won, improving to 15-5, or 15-11 on the year, not 15-5. 15-11.
They were 15-5.
Yeah. Then, like I was saying earlier, Chugiak is absolutely shocking people this year. Since their move to Chugiak over a decade ago, they have never finished higher than third place, and that was only one time. So now they sit at a clear second place in the ABL with about a dozen games to go. But for the Miners, they go to 19-8 on the year. It's a big win.
Yeah, one win closer to 20. This team is looking really solid. So they continue their winning streak. They had already won 8 of their last 10 coming in today, and they continue to add on to that total. Miners come away the victors of a 4-2 contest in a close one again against the Anchorage Bucs. They'll have another game tomorrow against the Glacier Pilots here again. So we'll see if the Miners can make it 2 for 2 against Anchorage.
7 p.m. tomorrow versus the Pilots will be on air at about 6:50 with a slight pregame show, and then bringing you all the action from Hermon Brothers Field, as the Miners have a chance to get up to 20 wins on the year tomorrow, the first team in the ABL to do so if they can do it.
So as always, I've been Sean Neef alongside my broadcasting partner, Reese Lannon. Thank you so much for joining us for another Miners win, and we'll be back again tomorrow with some more action.